Hello and welcome back to another pricey HD video. Today we've got another career mode episode. It is episode 7 of season 2 of Birmingham City career mode, and just before we get into this, I did just want to say sorry for not uploading for almost a week now. Now, literally, to put it simply, it's not going to speed up, and I can keep saying sorry as much as I like, but we're not going to speed up at all because I am under like so much exams and everything at the moment. It's very overwhelming. So this is one of the lower priorities, but once they're all over, as I've said multiple times and as I've promised multiple times, this will be at full force. We've got Norwich though in today's episode, and it should be a fantastic one. Norwich, of course, promoted side, much like us. We beat them earlier on this season in a 1-0 90th minute goal, and early on here we rocket against the bar. I think it was rolled down there. Tesche again has another chance, but it's just cleared back into the Norwich penalty area, and luckily for them, they managed to pass it out and safe to safety. 0-0 at half-time, much like our Premier League game at the start of the season. This is a bit of a weird one. We're in the quarter-finals of the EFL Cup, so if we could win this, of course, we will go to the semis. And the EFL Cup is a cup that I'm not majorly interested in. It's not in our domestic ambitions. But then this happened, and I was just like, oh no. I just couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. We'd been so solid all game, and then in the 82nd minute, I believe, like, I take a touch with Oxford here, and it shouldn't be doing this. Why is it doing this? I didn't want him to take a touch into Norwich's striker, and we get one chance though. It's Chatham's. Chatham's is through. Chatham's 1-on-1. Oh my days. No, it's just not happening. And we're not going to win. Okay, we can stop this joke now. It's sort of dead. So, we lost 1-0. That is it. Bennett scored for Norwich. They got the winning goal. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to progress in the cup.
This is a test, no? We all have in a test. Everybody will raise the game and we will produce better results.
I was just getting reports just then that Zola did a secret interview, and his wisdom just inspired us all to rise back up and to win the next game. Come on, lads. In the background, you've got the squad report, and literally, the squad at the moment is growing reasonably well in some areas. But then other areas, you can really see where we've got dead wood, real dead wood. Donaldson, Cotterill, players like that, they really need to go. And Cotterill is a man that I am looking to sell in January, because he has rejected a new contract, so he will be in the midst of, pre-contract purchases for any team who wants to buy him. So I'd prefer to get about £1 million out of him right now. But then, what else do we have going on? We have Donaldson, who's retiring at the moment. We're 6th in the Premier League, which is unbelievable after 13 games, and we have the potential to go even higher because we've got games in hand on some of the teams above us. We have, granted, now gone out of the EFL Cup, but that's not even in our objectives. The FA Cup is our main priority, and all we need to do is progress one round in that to achieve our objective in that. And we take the lead here against Swansea in a very early start. So, yeah, granted, we've gone out the cup in a bit of an unfortunate way. Cotterill, celebrating with Han Chan-hee. Quite funny, actually, considering I just said I wanted to sell him. But either way, we've had a brilliant start to the season. It's been a fantastic start. Maybe even slightly too easy. Maybe I need to, I don't know, up the difficulty now. Maybe it's time. I'm not really sure, because if I up the difficulty and we just plunge down the league to 20th and we go down, then, it might not be too well. It might not go too well. So, I mean, we've had a fantastic start. Like, unbelievable. It's hard to even comprehend how good we've done, which is weird because I was on this difficulty last year. Well, in the previous season, in career mode terms, and yet we only just got 6th in the final 10 games. We just come good in the final 10 games. Granted, our team's better now. Our team's so good, in fact, that Solomar Tabar's getting on the score sheet quite a few times. Tabar is a very, very, very exciting player for me. He's not got the best of potential, but I tell you what, even if he doesn't break his way into the first team ever, because he is quite a first-team player now, but even if he gets, oh, look, spin me right round, baby, right round. They need to fix that glitch, because I am getting sick of it now, because ultimately, what's going on now with that glitch is they're about to make contact with a player, and there's like an empty socket of a player there, and there's just, it's like a ghost spinning the guy around. basically the player animation. The animation there is for a player, but the player hasn't been inserted into the animation structure. So basically, the skeleton of the animation just ends up spinning the guy around, and it's like an optical illusion. But either way, we beat Swansea 3-1. Fantastic win, and you might actually get to see another example soon. Quite often it happens at full time. They go to shake a player's hand, and there's no player there, and they're just sort of shaking the thin air sort of thing. That happens at full time. So ultimately, that's a fantastic win against Swansea. We yet again progress forward in the league. Now we've got a game against Leicester, previous champions. Of course, they stayed up in the previous season. Only just though, I believe. And they are looking to try and snatch a win against us today. We are a lot higher in the league than them, though. We have really come good. Like, I cannot believe how much better our side is from last year. Is that Nastasic? I think it is actually Nastasic, captain for Leicester City. Well, I mean, I suppose they had to replace Robert Huth at some point. And look at that! Rockets the bar from Chadham. So unfortunate. And Chadham's again! The header just goes over. So unfortunate there. That would have been an absolutely intense start. And that would have been the most magic of starts ever. But we still get a decent start. You know, I'll take a goal like that. It's a very, very good goal, in fact. I believe it is still Che Adams who got that goal. I'm not actually entirely sure. Was it Che? No, it was Matheus Pereira, which is great. And we go and celebrate off with Rowett. Gary Rowett. Oh no. Gary Rowett. Just the name makes me cry. For some reason, Pereira looks like he's crying as well there, despite the fact that he scored. And we are 1-0 up against Leicester City at half-time. I've noticed this quite a lot, actually, that we don't seem to get many first-half goals. I don't know whether that's just me. I'm probably speaking absolute bollocks, to be honest. Solomon Otabar on the edge of the box has a shot, but it's blocked very well. Tesche gets it up, picks it up on the edge of the area. Oh, wow, that was a curling shot, and if it had just curled slightly more, it might have just guided itself right into the net. So unfortunate. But another case of unfortunosity, if that's the word, actually came right here. Leicester got the equaliser, and it was a devastating equaliser as well, because it was just a scrap in the area. It fell to the right man at the right time for Leicester City. But maybe one more chance to go back ahead in this game here. Clayton Donaldson! Oh my word! Clayton Donaldson, who hardly plays for us. He's pretty much decided that he's going to retire at the end of the season. So what could be his final season with Blues. Either way, it probably will be his final season with Blues. Even if he don't retire, it will still be his final season with Blues. What an insane end there with Donaldson. It hits the post, but now we are right under the cosh. What if it wasn't for a save from Didalon there? Like, what a save, Gordon Banks. Well, Didalon. But literally, if it wasn't for Didalon, then we would be back at 2-2 right now. But it's passed back over to Roldan. I got the sweat on the go there. And to be honest, it's one of the first sweaty goals I've scored on FIFA 17, that is. Because literally, it has been so difficult to score sweaties. They seem to, like, deny to let you score sweaties these days. Roldan gets the finish. It's another goal in the Premier League for him, and our youngster has actually just allowed us to beat Leicester City 3-1. It's a copycat result of the previous game against Swansea, and somehow Ranieri, who is still manager at Leicester, because they don't sack managers in career mode, unless they sack you, obviously, Ranieri bows down the tunnel in absolute disgrace that he has just lost us 3-1 due to a Roldan and Donaldson goal. And Pereira's, of course, does count as well. Donaldson's goal was fantastic. It's great to see him score just because it might well be one of his last goals for the club. Anyway, I do thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you smash that like button down below. And I will see you for another video very soon.